Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My play, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I've got 3 to 4 main big stories to talk about. Of course, all the latest news surrounding Chelsea will be posted on this channel, and some interesting news regarding Eden Hazard, his first La Liga title win, and what that means for Chelsea's finances. We speak about Antonio Rudiger and the fact that there's no contract offer on the table, and also one of Michy Batshuayi, Fikayo Tomori, Kurt Zuma could potentially be involved in a player swap deal for Declan Rice to West Ham. Of course, Frank Lampard's first choice centre back target, and the Chelsea hierarchies, play this on the shortlist, and we are actually looking at. Of course, Hakim Ziyech had his first training session with the group, so obviously he's had 2 training sessions on his own, but he's had now one with the group. So, and yeah, obviously it was fantastic to see. And obviously, before I do get into it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's Chelsea transfer daily video for you guys. Now, the first story is, of course, Eden Hazard. Now, it was broken by Christophe Toledo, and he's a Belgium correspondent, so Belgium journalist, of course, very, very reliable when it comes to Belgium news, Belgium, superstars and football players. He is tier 1, he is quite reliable, very, very credible. And of course, when it came to Chelsea players, Michy Batshuayi, Courtois, Hazard, they're all Belgium internationals, he had the new spot on. Now, what he was saying was that Chelsea will gain some extra millions from Real Madrid for Eden Hazard if Real Madrid won the title last night, and obviously they did. They have been crowned La Liga champions, and there were some easy attainable bonuses and significant add-ons in the deal. The initial fee was, of course, 100 million euros, and obviously there was add-ons and significant bonuses, and Chelsea are always sure that they would get at least 130 million euros, and that is going to be the case, of course, because Real Madrid won La Liga. Chelsea will gain an extra 15 million euros, and Queen Marina strikes again. She genuinely strikes again. This is why I keep saying, let's build her statue next to Peter Osgood outside Stamford Bridge. Hazard has had a very underwhelming season. He hasn't performed too well. He's been subpar with his performances. He's only had 1 La Liga goal all season. I know he's been riddled with injuries, but he's had a struggling time to essentially adapt to Real Madrid. But next season for me, I think, will be a big season for Hazard. But nonetheless, Real Madrid, they secured their La Liga title, first La Liga title since Ronaldo left the club. Good news for them. It's good news for Chelsea fans. Of course, we get 50 million euros. It's good for Hazard. He gets another league title under his belt in a different country, and it's a win-win for all parties. Real Madrid fans are happy they've won La Liga. Hazard is happy he's got a trophy, and Chelsea fans are happy because we have received 50 million euros, which will be easily added to the budget to be reinvested back into the squad to sign new players, and can easily be done to sign a Kai Havertz or a Declan Rice or one of our other top targets that we do want to sign. So it's extra money for the bank, it's extra money to be added onto players, and this is why negotiating is so key in football. You're scrounging the extra millions that is always going to help you when it comes to negotiating in business. But good news for Hazard, good news for Chelsea fans. What do you guys think? Are you guys happy that another 15 million euros has been added to our budget? What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Now, the next story I do want to talk about is, of course, regarding Declan Rice. Now, it was reported by the Football Insider last night, breaking news. Chelsea are offering West Ham one or more of Fikayo Tomori, Kurt Zuma and Michy Batshuayi in exchange for Declan Rice. Chelsea are willing to be flexible in any of the trio, although Tomori will only be available for a season-long loan, reported by Football Insider. Now, of course, before I want to speak about more in depth about the report, my thoughts, opinions. Now, we do know that Chelsea are heavily interested in Declan Rice. It's not just the Chelsea hierarchy, but of course Frank Lampard as well. Now, we know Declan Rice is versatile. He predominantly plays in that DM position, that CDM position for West Ham, and he's been very, very good this season. He had a solid season, a breakout season. He's been improving year on year. I like his style, his attributes, and of course, he was graduated from La Cobham. Of course, if you guys cast your minds back to the time, he's good mates with Mason Mount, because of course they both were playing at Cobham in those youth days. Unfortunately, Declan Rice at Chelsea deemed at the time that he wasn't good enough, and he was released by Chelsea, and West Ham then signed him on a free. But the Chelsea hierarchy are open to signing Declan Rice if the price was right. But from my understanding, and a lot of correspondents and journalists' understanding, is that he is Frank Lampard's first choice centre-back target. Not even for midfield. We know the midfield department is quite stacked, but for the centre-back department, he is our first choice. He can play centre-back, that's why he's versatile, and Frank Lampard would like to sign Declan Rice centre-back for his makeshift defence. The overhaul of the defence, we know it's been a key issue this season. He's a captain for West Ham at 21. He's going to improve year on year. He's got a lot of room to improve, really nice attributes, really high potential as well. And I think that Declan Rice, he's got those attributes, he's got the captaincy, and he would improve our defence significantly. Now, obviously, there are other centre-back targets that I would prefer the Chelsea signed, but he is an upgrade on what we have, and of course, if the price was right, in my opinion, I think Declan Rice would be a solid move to go for. Now, what's interesting about this report is that Chelsea don't really want to offer cash, they'd rather offer players in return. Of course, we are in the current climate where, finances are a bit tight. And of course, Michy Batshuayi, surplus to requirements, could be offered to West Ham. I know West Ham are interested in Michy Batshuayi, maybe partner with Sebastian Haller, who's better in a 2 up top formation. And of course, West Ham could potentially be interested if we offered Michy Batshuayi. Now, obviously, Kurt Zouma, he is one of our best centre-backs, even though he does have inconsistencies alongside Christensen. And I believe that Chelsea would want to keep hold of Kurt Zouma. Why would Kurt Zouma want to downgrade to West Ham when he is much better than West Ham level? Tomori, of course, as reported in the report, Chelsea would only be willing to send Tomori on loan to West Ham to develop his game, get that first-team football and game time, and only for a season-long loan. So Chelsea don't want to lose him on a permanent deal, which is completely understandable. But I think Michy Batshuayi, maybe Tomori, would be more realistic to be sent to West Ham in return for Declan Rice. Now, of course, West Ham want an extortionate fee for Declan Rice. We're talking about 60 million, 70 million pounds. There's no way Chelsea will pay anywhere near that. And of course, West Ham are in a relegation zone. So obviously, in the event that West Ham did actually go down and get relegated, which, by the way, is extremely unlikely, Chelsea could get Declan Rice on the cheap. But let me stress once again, that is highly unlikely because, of course, West Ham, they've got nice fixtures, last 2 remaining fixtures. They are also not currently in a relegation zone. There are other teams that are much worse than them. So, like I said, if Declan Rice hands in a transfer request and forces the move, then this still could possibly be likely. But we'll have to wait and see in that one. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for this move. But let's move on to other stories. Now let's talk about Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger reported by Sami Mokbel, who writes for the Daily Mail online sport, and he was saying that Antonio Rudiger's Chelsea future is in doubt, with the club yet to offer him a brand new contract, and Frank Lampard is now focusing on strengthening his defence. Now, talking about Declan Rice a second ago, Rudiger, he has been quite poor this season. He has had some injury problems the last couple of years, and a lot of Chelsea fans are unhappy with his recent performances. He's had, again, subpar performances, very, very poor performances, not been up to scratch, and very error prone when it comes to defensive line. He doesn't win enough aerial duels, and he's been really, really poor. Hence why inconsistency has not been getting that regular first team football, and been reported by this journalist that Chelsea have not offered him a brand new contract, which is the correct decision in my opinion. I don't think he's worthy of a new contract. He still has some time remaining on his contract, so if we did want to sell him this summer, which I think we should, then we could command quite a bit of money for him. I don't think he deserves a new contract. I don't think he's been good enough. I do not think he's Chelsea's standards, so that's why I think that he should be sold this summer. But it depends what clubs are interested in. But the fact that we haven't offered him a new contract is very good news in my opinion. I think he is our worst centre back. We can do much, much better, and Declan Rice is a massive upgrade on Rudiger in my personal opinion. But what do you guys think? Do you disagree? Do you think Rudiger should stay at Chelsea, or do you think that we should offer him a new contract, and agree with me that we should sell him and move him on? But the last player I do want to speak about is, of course, Hakim Ziyech. He conducted his first training session with the Chelsea first team. Of course, he has conducted a couple of training sessions solo with coaching staff and stuff. But regarding the first team, he had his first one yesterday, training with the full first team. There were some clips. If you want to see it, go on their social media, their Twitter, their YouTube, on the Chelsea official account. Hakim Ziyech was pictured and clipped, obviously training with the boys. Nice touches. It's good to see Hakim, honestly, really good to see Hakim Ziyech. And obviously Timo Werner, after his holiday break, will join Chelsea, of course, join the first team regarding training. But it's good to see Hakim Ziyech train with the first team. Good to see him, gelling with the teammates. So that's really, really good news. But I'm going to wrap up the Chelsea transfer video for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys for my next video. Peace.